Mr. President.
Senator from Massachusetts.
Thank you, Mr. President. I've been sitting on the floor for a while listening to other senators just tell amazing stories about young people who came to this country as children and how they have thrived, how they have become woven into a part of American fabric. These are stories of courage, stories of hope, and it's inspiring to listen to these stories. But what I wanted to talk about tonight is I wanted to add another piece to this story, and that is about why law matters, why it matters that we have a DREAM Act. This is Reina Guevara. She is a Massachusetts resident. She's a student right now at UMass Boston. When Reina was 11 years old, she fled from El Salvador and she settled with her mother in Everett, Massachusetts. Reina is a model student after completing high school and graduating with high honors from Bunker Hill Community College. She won a scholarship. She transferred to the University of Massachusetts at Boston, where she currently has a double major in philosophy and in public policy. Now, until DACA came along, Reina had to live in the shadows, and living in the shadows wasn't easy. She worked long hours in a restaurant where she was subjected to sexual harassment. Knowing that she didn't have legal status, Reina's boss frequently propositioned her to have a sexual relationship with him and threatened to report her to immigration authorities if she didn't go along with what he wanted. So instead of giving in to her boss's advances, Reina quit her job, even though her boss refused to pay her for the work that she had already completed. DACA changed the world for Reina. It meant protection. It meant that she could go to work without the fear of being sent back to a country that she barely knows. It meant that she had access to more jobs where she wouldn't have to face exploitation, humiliation, and sexual harassment. And it meant that Reina could pay in-state tuition and become the first person in her family to complete college, opening up even more doors of opportunity. You know, right now, we're in the middle of a long overdue discussion about sexual harassment and sexual assault. Women are bravely coming forward to tell their stories about powerful men who have abused their power to hurt others. Sexual assault isn't just happening in Silicon Valley or in Hollywood or in legislative chambers. It is happening all across America, at hotels and fast food restaurants and convenience stores. And if you're a woman without official status, you have yet another barrier to speaking out. When the DACA program started, we made a promise to young people like Reina. We promised them that if they came out of the shadows, they would have an opportunity to live and to work and to go to school without the fear of deportation. We promised to protect them. Donald Trump broke that promise when he ended DACA. But there's something Congress can do right now to help Reina and other dreamers like her. Young people who came to the U.S. as kids and who have spent their lives reaching for their dreams. We can pass a Clean DREAM Act, a bipartisan bill that would give young people like Reina status and a path to citizenship. A bill that protects those young people without subjecting their parents or their siblings to deportation. We could do that, but time is running out. Soon, DACA recipients will begin losing their status and will be subject to deportation. We can stop that from happening, but we have to act soon. I am ready to vote, and many of my colleagues on both sides of the aisle are ready to vote. So I have one question for Mitch McConnell. What is stopping you? We're ready to pass this bill. Just give us a vote. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor.